If you are someone who has been in a perpetual state of freeze, not able to make any decisions, but you feel like there's a decision to be made and you can't intuitively figure out which one is the right one, I feel called to share this. There's so many different paths that you can take in life. And sometimes one of the paths that you choose could feel right, it could feel wrong, it could feel confusing. But it's important to have compassion for yourself for where you're at, because the fact that you care enough to be so worried about making the right or wrong decision means that you care. And that in and of itself matters so much. And where you can go from this point on, the possibilities are so infinite, right? You're in a liminal space. And to be in a liminal space means that you really get to create your reality from this point on. And with that comes so much beauty and excitement. You're in the unknown. And that can be scary sometimes, because our logical mind really, really likes to have a sense of security, a sense of safety, a sense of knowing all the answers so that we may proceed accordingly and optimally and align with our greatest path. And we think that our greatest path means the one of ease and peace and joy. But sometimes our greatest path is supposed to have hardship and lessons and the unknown on the way. So if you're in that lesson right now, really be present for it. See what it is trying to teach you, trying to offer you. Because there is something there. But the more you try and run from it, the more it's just going to present itself to you at a different time of your life. Similar to how sometimes we find ourselves in the same relationship patterns, person after person, it expresses a very similar pattern. We're going to keep running into very similar life lessons until we are present enough to take them head on, learn from them, and then move forward with what we now know. So, yeah, I'm really inviting you to just be so present for whatever season that you're in, and that whatever choice you have to make from this point on, I think that the best choice will be made when you choose it mindfully and from a place of calm. And I know that's easier said than done, because it's so hard to be calm in the midst of what feels like a storm. Speaking of storms, I'm pretty sure I'm about to be caught in a thunder and lightning storm in the rainforest. That's good. The forecast did not predict that. Just as sometimes the forecast does not predict what lies ahead in life either. But sometimes you get caught in the middle of it and you learn to become resourceful enough to get yourself out. So, I really invite you to, again, be present. And the more present you are, the more calm you might become. And from that point, you can mindfully make a decision. And guess what? Even if you mindfully make that decision or not, and it ends up being the quote-unquote wrong decision, you're allowed to mess up. You're human, and that is how we learn. And I know it can feel really scary, because sometimes we experience such significant traumas that show us that one little mistake can change the entire trajectory of our life and bring us immense pain. But not every situation is like that. So allow yourself the compassion to remember that. And looking back in your life, I guarantee you have made choices in the past that did not provide you with the best optimal outcome. But you are who you are now today because of it. And you learned what you learned then because of it. Interesting. That plant was just like matrix glitching. So, maybe on that note, confusion lies within being a human, and being a human lies within a part of the matrix. So be a little glitch, you know? Be unafraid to mess up. Or be afraid to mess up and do it anyways. You're allowed to. You're safe to. Life will always move around you. And with you. Because life is so deeply and truly rooting for you. Is there anything else? Nature? That you want to move through me? This is so cool. Look at this. You know, sometimes we are like this tree. I don't know. I was going to insert a metaphor there, but I'm not gonna. Take it how you want. Sometimes we are like that tree. And with that being said, I am now gonna try to get myself out of this thunder and lightning storm. Otherwise, this will be my last message. And I'm fine with that. Because if I get to spread love as my last message, we out here. Mad love. You got this. Life is so on your side. Rooting for you. Always. And so am I. Bye.